Shalom, welcome to Out of Africa Torah session. My name is Tatra Cohen. This week we are on the portion Chukat, regulations, coming from the book of Numbers chapter 19 all the way to 22. A short yet interesting Torah portion carrying lots of lessons which can be learned, and also some of the things which are hard to comprehend, but they serve as a lesson to you and me today. Amongst those great information, great things this Torah portion talks about, we find that this is also the same Torah portion which the famous Miriam, the sister to Moshe and Aaron, also dies. And we also find the mystic kind of tradition which is embedded in this Torah portion, and this happened to be the laws and instruction concerning the red heifer, the famous red heifer. Even to this day, people are still studying to find the information and the mysteries, and the sacredness of the red heifer itself. Well, today I want to concentrate mainly on the part where Moshe receives instructions to speak to the rock because the people were thirsty. And when they were thirsty, they cried to Hashem, and the instruction was given that Moshe should speak to the rock so the rock can now release water and everyone would quench their thirst. Now, we are told later in the text that this rock being referred to was actually the Messiah himself, the rock that followed the children of Israel. And by the way, when the rock followed the children of Israel, he provided almost everything, if not everything, they needed. Now, in this case, Moshe is instructed to speak to the rock, but instead, he hit the rock. Surprisingly, water gushed out from the rock, and everyone was able to drink and celebrate. But Hashem took note, and he took note that this was an act of disobedience. Wow, a very interesting thing. And today my message to you is on the same thing, that you should know the role of emotions. Many a times we come, before the Lord, and we are trying to, because we are under pressure. We have failed to control, to take charge of our emotional state. And we come before Him in that state of emotional imbalance, and we approach Hashem, and we begin to say things, some of them which might even put ourselves in serious pressure. Sometimes we may even be belittling His name. And Hashem responded to this act, and He said, because you did not respect me before the people. Wow, it became a big offense now. How? Because he simply did not take the instructions. Well, apart from taking the instructions, he prioritized his emotions at the expense of the name of the living God. Well, I'm one of those few people probably who do not just go before God to pray randomly. There are times whereby people have asked me to pray, but when I feel that I'm not in a capable emotional state, sometimes I object. Why do I do so? It's because I fear the same thing of making or failing to honor God simply because of my emotional state. So my message to you today is very simple. Do not twist God simply because of what you are going through. And this is exactly what Moshe did, and it costed him so much. If you continue reading the text, you'll find that this is one area which Hashem had against Moshe. The people themselves, they celebrated. Of course, water came. But how it came. Today there are so many people who are justifying certain wrongs simply because the miracles are happening. Well, the miracle doesn't justify how it was done. Like in this case, water actually gushed out. It came out of the rock and people celebrated. They managed to quench their thirst. But Hashem was displeased because of how it was done. So God gives clear instructions of how. And some of the instructions we've been given in the text is how we should approach him. I like the book of Tehillim, which says, be aware that he is God. Just you knowing that you are talking to, the creator of all this that we see today, this beauty, the universe we see, the world which we know today, on its own should just help you know that you should be sober as you approach God. So this is my simple message to you today. Know that God is great. Not only that, be aware that he is God before you say any word to him. Before you approach him in such a way that you would honor his name. Not just, because of your emotional state. The problem with our emotions is they escalate so much. Sometimes, you are hot, you are cold, you are lukewarm because of the emotions. Sometimes you are hot because of the emotions as well. Like in this case, Moshe was hot-tempered. The emotions were so much escalated because of what was going on. But that could not justify how he was to speak to the rock. How he was not supposed to hit the rock. So this is my simple message to you. Go on and approach your God, knowing that he is God. And knowing also that your emotions should not take precedence when you are approaching your God. A very simple message. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.